what's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? Tyler. This is not going to be what you're used to, unless I put it up on the Raw channel. This is kind of a Raw channel subject. Yeah, we're going to be doing a little heart-to-heart today, okay? A little heart-to-heart about some of the realities of full-time YouTubing, motovlogging, things like that. And, you know, this is going to be a far cry from, it's going to be a far cry from most of the eveRide videos you see these days. Some of you guys really like the vlogs, some of you guys really dislike the vlogs. I think that this needs to be said. I need to, you know, this is real life stuff. This isn't Fox or CBS or CNBC. I don't know, well, all the different stations. I haven't watched TV for so long. This is YouTube. This is where people are real. At least a lot of people are real, I guess. So, oh, my bike is not pleased with me. What a day for that. Okay, anyway, so this is going to be quite long. I'm going to take you guys to one of my favorite spots. It's like the double valley of gratitude. If you've seen Dimitri Martin, you know about the double hawk. This is like the double valley of gratitude. Because there's two valleys. Let's just wrap it out a little bit. It's been a long time since I've done a real vlog, you know, might as well make it entertaining. Yeah. This guy up here in the car is probably like, what? That Mad Max looking fella back there, he's gonna get me. Oh, geez. Mama eveRide. Maybe Mama eveRide should make a return soon. Let's talk. Motovlogging, making a living on YouTube is really, really, really hard. If you followed the channel for a long time, and I say this often, if you followed the channel for a long time, you probably seen some vlogs where I've mentioned some of my emotional or mental misgivings, struggle from depression. I got that under control quite a bit, but last night I had something kind of new, and it kind of scared me a lot. It was a panic attack. Now, I'm not saying a legit panic attack because I worked in a treatment center. I saw kids having legit panic attacks, and the big ones are really frightening. They're scary. Is my gas off or something? What's the deal with my... Anyway, legit panic attacks are freaky. And I can say that this was not like a big, full-scale, super wild panic attack, but it was enough that I didn't sleep. And it was enough that this morning I just was having a real hard time. Oh, gosh. Why doesn't it fire up? Anyway, it's about this life. It's about YouTubing and all that stuff. And it's scary, you know? Where do I start to gather my thoughts a little bit? Holy cow, there's a hawk with a freaking snake. How awesome is that? So, you know, I just kept quiet all back there. I think I can gather my thoughts up here and tell you guys more of everything that's going through my head. And then just kind of dub that in over the top. So that way you get to see my right up here, and it's all good. But here we are. It's beautiful up here. You can see why I call it the double valley of gratitude. So you guys, before I forget, I wrote an article. I'm going to post it to my Facebook page or eveRide.org or something. I'll put the link in the description below of wherever it's going to be. But it is quite the story. It's kind of a little chunk of my, like an autobiography almost. It's a journal entry that I made a while ago, just about what I'm doing, and that should give you a really good taste of what it's like to be full-time YouTuber and what it's like to make huge sacrifices to try to do this and make this happen, and some of the pain that it causes, and also some of the successes. So yeah, go check that out. I'll put a link in the description, and you can go and look at that and read it over, and that really is like the down-to-earth, honest pros and cons. So I hope this video helps you. I hope that it kind of gives you a glimpse into the life of a real life YouTuber. It's so much work. It's not easy, but it is fairly rewarding. So anyway, go check that out. So here we are, and it's kind of crazy because you think about things all night, all day, today, you know, and then you get up here and you're just surrounded by so many cool things. You almost forget what you were whining about in the first place, you know. Anyway, I'll just tell you guys kind of what's going through my head. This is the real life stuff, you know. This is what's really going on for you know, full-time YouTuber. Holy moly, don't fall off that, you at home. It's really hard. It's not this dream life that I'm sure a lot of people think that it is. It's not this thing where I get to ride motorcycles all the time. I ride motorcycles less now than I did when I was a teacher, far less. And the thing that kind of really gave me a good punch in the face was last night was that I'm spending less time with my family now. And that was not the goal. The goal was to spend more time with my family. And you know, the opportunity to give away stickers and stuff, that was really cool. We got to spend a lot of time with family there, and that was nice. Yeah, by and large, I haven't been able to spend a ton of time with my family. I'm usually alone. We don't have an office in our house or anything. I just edit up in my room on my laptop alone I'm doing work for, you know, usually 10 hours a day, every day. I try to take a break from Sundays, but that's hard. So it's a lot of time sitting, a lot of time on the computer, a lot of time answering questions and comments, things like that. And lately, it's been getting even busier because I've kind of delved into this sponsorship thing, and that's what I want to talk about. The whole money thing. I hate money. I wish we didn't have to deal with money, right? It just sucks because I don't want to ask you guys for money. I don't want to do that. I don't want to ask sponsors for money. They might get an awesome deal for being in my videos. I mean, they obviously do. For what they provide to me, you know, they will sell their cost and 10 times more. But you know, a lot of questions have come up whether I can be honest or not when it comes to sponsorships. And right now I can say, well, heck yeah, I'll be honest. But how long will that last? So it's like, because there's money involved, you know, free goodies, notoriety. Let me tell you right now, for a guy like me who just wanted to be a teacher, who just wanted to, you know, teach a little class, inspire a few people, and I don't mean to say this like, oh, look at me, blah. Fame sucks. I don't want to be recognized or noticed or anything big. You know, I just want to make videos at my house and ride motorcycles and spend time with my wife and kids. And I get to do that. So I'm super grateful, but it is interesting because suddenly there's this aspect of money, and I need to make it, and I need to provide, and that's always been the case. And anyway, this big panic attack happened last night, and you can kind of tell what's been going on in my head. Just you know, neither here nor there. I can't make up my mind. How do I support my family? because money, it's like the necessary evil. It's something that I don't want to deal with ever at all. And it's interesting. I'm not going to call anybody out, but it's interesting to look at different industries, and inside the ADV industry, there's people that are famous. How famous? I'm not going to disclose because that would maybe give it away. But you know, their minds are on the money, and they go for the money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with sponsorship, but it is a little bit confusing to see people go from sponsor A to sponsor B, sponsor C to sponsor D, and nothing's consistent. You know, they're getting a new camera sponsor every video, they're getting a new motorcycle sponsor every video. So this is kind of what I was thinking about a little bit, like the NBA. Squirrel. The NBA. The NBA sucks now. All of professional sports, to me, are crap now. The NBA used to be, think about it this way. You know, I grew up in Utah, huge Utah Jazz fan when I was a kid. Now I don't care. Utah Jazz, Karl Malone, John Stockton. Portland Trail Blazers, Clyde Drexler, right? Chicago Bulls, Pippen Jordan. Lakers, Magic Johnson, if you want, you know, if you're that old, you know. Celtics, Larry Bird. You know, all these people had teams and they stayed with them forever and ever. It wasn't like today where somebody just floats around to whoever gives them the most money. I hate that. And one person who I always admired was John Stockton, because he just kind of did his own thing. I want to be John Stockton, the John Stockton of motovlogging. You know, John Stockton was one of the best players ever, but you know, he leads in so many things, assists and steals, and he's amazing. And probably not many of you guys who are watching this know who John Stockton is. And that's because he went to work, he worked hard, he was totally under-recognized and underappreciated. He was soft-spoken. He stayed with the same losing team his whole career, and he didn't really climb the ladder because of it. But in Utah, he's John Stockton. So it's interesting. I'd like to be like John Stockton. Work hard, keep my head down, and not worry about the politics. That's one of the main things that discourages me from this whole venture. There are so many hidden politics, you guys. There is a dark side out there. There's the dark side of getting hated on every single day, having to deal with that. There's the dark side of walking on eggshells around sponsors, trying to please your audience, but at the same time trying to pay the bills. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of politics. And, you know, I kind of got enveloped in the whole clout score thing and got pretty prideful about that. Yeah, clout score, my clout score's really good. I'm a good influencer. My clout score's higher than so-and-so. It's higher than so-and-so. You know what? I realized I don't want to be ranked. I don't want fame. That's the thing. I just want to be that teacher guy. I just want to be the teacher guy who helps a few people out and teaches a few cool things and makes a little difference, but really just kind of, when the day's done, he just sits back in the classroom and doesn't need an applause or anything, you know? I want to be John Stockton. I'm going to sit down here because I'm out of breath, so I'm out of shape. Having my foot get smashed up a while ago and having my ribs get banged up the other day. That's another thing. I'm killing myself for this. Smashed up my ribs, smashed up my foot the other day, or a long time ago actually. I've hit my head a few good times. You know, what crash is gonna stop it, you know? That's scary. It's really scary when you have a baby due in a couple of months. And it makes you question, you know, I'm making $5 an hour, working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and is it worth it? Something interesting happened. I invited a few friends to maybe be a part of the eveRide channel, you know, to maybe be hosts. And the minute I did that, it's like they shut down. I really haven't heard from them very much since then. I don't know what it is, but I hope that didn't hurt our friendship. Anyway, fame is stupid, and I don't like it because here's why, right? I want to be the background guy. I just want to make videos, hang out with my family. And if we pay the bills, that's great. It was funny, we were having a discussion with my dad-in-law, and maybe he'll watch this, maybe he won't. But we were talking about my dad-in-law, and I was talking about how the channel was doing all right. And he said, man, one of these days you'll be able to move out of your tiny house and get a nice big house with a big garage. And it was just funny, the perspective, because I was like, I don't want that. I don't want a big house. I don't want a big garage. I just want to pay my bills and do what I do, and just memories. You know, memories are what's most important. I said it over and over. That's where my priority is at. Anyway, it's interesting. I don't want, like I said, I want to be John Stockton. And it's weird because with sponsors, I hate pitching with sponsors. Even when they're cool guys, like Justin from Rocky Mountain, Everett, you know, and Jared. Those guys are all really cool. And Ray and Eric, I mean, they're just not a group of cooler guys. And so, like, these guys are my buddies, but I still hate saying, hey, maybe I could do this for you guys. I hate sending those emails, and I hate talking on the phone. And even with Lonnie, how cool he is with KLR Dash. You know, if you've got these friends and suddenly you're like walking on eggshells because there's money involved. I don't like that. And the worst part is to try to go for new sponsors. You gotta pump yourself up like you're the greatest thing to ever happen to motorcycling. When I hate that, you know what I mean? That's what I hate about sports today. That's what I hate about most everything today. Is, you know, my wife hates it too. We always kind of think it's funny whenever we watch football at somebody else's house or something. You know, a guy makes a catch or sacks a quarterback, and yeah, good job, that's cool, good for you, you made a good play. But every time it's like they thump on their chest and they're, oh, you know, they just want to make it seem like they're the kings of the world for catching a football. And you know, and then here I am, I'm trying to make it sound like I'm the coolest person in the world for riding a motorcycle poorly. Just because there's people who listen to this crap. And how funny is that, you know? I mean, and then I have to be like, yeah, I got a huge audience, and I got this and that, you know, and I have to pump myself up, and I cannot tell you guys how frustrating that is to me. I hate that. I did not like going for sponsors. So, anyway, it's kind of interesting. I mean, we've got all these things going on. It is a weird thing, you know. I'm working very hard. I'm making very little. I don't really mind that I make very little. I enjoy my work. But then when those bad parts of it come out, you know, when you go to answer your messages and your comments, and thousands of people are so positive, and it's amazing, but you know, one or two people out there are gonna cut you. And sometimes it's you're stupid and you suck at riding, and I don't care about that. But sometimes they make it personal. They make it about my religion or my family or, you know, my kids, or how I, you know, what kind of a father am I if I'm doing this. It's tough, but that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. So there's, you know, there's this guy. I won't say his name. I really like him. He's a cool guy, and I'm not saying anything bad about him, but I just don't want to say his name right now. But he kind of does a little bit of the motorcycle adventure marketing stuff, and he made a list, a ranking of people in the community to watch out for, to sponsor, because these are the big influencers, you know. And top of the list is Alex Chacon. That's no surprise. The second guy on the list I'd never heard of, actually, but he speaks Spanish, and so he's very big in the Spanish markets. So that's awesome. And then there was me, and then there was like some really talented people like Wandering Beast and to ride the world, and the ride must go on. And you know, I look at that list and I'm like, what a load of crap, really. This is where I ride. I don't ride the world. I ride St. George, Utah. Once in a while I'll go to Colorado, you know, a couple 100 miles away. Those other guys are going around the world, and when I look at myself on that list, I'm like, what do I have to offer? These guys are actually doing it. They're doing what I'm afraid to do. They're doing what I can't do. I will not. I refuse to leave my family to go on a huge adventure, especially when, you know, I've got a baby coming. But, you know, even if I was single, would I have the guts to go? I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting. I plan on being married to my wife for the rest of my life and through eternity. I plan on, when I got my teaching job, I planned on teaching here at the same school for the rest of my life. I planned on being absolutely loyal. And when that got turned around, it was time to try something new. But I still want that loyalty and stability in my life. You know, that's one of the things that bothers me about other people that are sponsored throughout all the industry and all of the world, you know, is they go from person to person to person to person, and people who are married go from person to person to person to person, and you know, people who are supposed to be, you know, working for a company they'll just go for whatever company offers more money, and that's not, at least the company one, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But man, how I would like to be John Stockton and just be like, hey, company XYZ, if you will help me pay the bills every month, I will be forever yours. And I will, you know, that doesn't mean do reviews or anything like that. Maybe that's just use the product and promote it. And just say, I'm going to take care of you guys because you're taking care of me. I guess that's a cultural thing in some places around the world. I heard it's like that in Japan, where, you know, you can expect to stay with the same company forever. But there's loyalty, you know, there's this John Stockton to the jazz and the jazz to John Stockton loyalty. I know it's a weird analogy. So you guys, come back to it. I don't know how I feel about sponsorship and going from company to company to company and always begging, trying to make myself look really awesome. That's not me. I just want to be me. I just want to be a dude that likes to ride motorcycles and shares passion. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time and just be like, hey, I'm making videos for my brother to try to convince him to get a dual sport, you know. But gone are those days, and you know, moving forward, my wife chewed me out this morning. She's like, those days are gone. You can't go back. You're getting famous. I'm just kidding. Pardon the language here. It's a little uncommon on this channel, you know. But I'm just trying my hardest not to be a douchebag. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for bearing with me on these videos that have really nothing to do with motorcycling, but I did make a promise a long time ago that I would be as upfront and forward about being a full-time YouTuber and riding motorcycles for a living as I possibly could, so that perhaps people want to follow suit, they can. And they know what to expect. I've had to write several emails to several people who kind of responded to that call of, hey, I want to have more eveRide hosts. Six people. And to all of them I wrote a message and I said, hey, this is really, really hard, you know, and the message basically said, you know, people who I'm looking for to be a host on the eveRide channel, I want them to have YouTube channels, not because of numbers or anything like that, but I want them to be established YouTube channels that have been around for a long time. Not because they'll have numbers, but because they'll have been through the fire. and they haven't given up. You know what I mean? Because so many people go through, they get 1,000 subscribers, maybe they get 70,000 subscribers, and then they disappear. They just stop. They get busy, they get priorities, and suddenly YouTube goes to the back burner and they stop for good. And you know, and that's not my plan. I plan to keep going and weather the storm. But man, I gotta say, it is tempting to stop, because I can make a lot more money, be a lot safer, spend a lot more time on my motorcycle, and a lot more time with my family than running this business and trying to look all awesome when really I'm just a dude. Anyway, guys, you have heard enough of me. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Much love, guys.